Hello, and welcome to another episode of Taylor Talks Comics Live. We made it. We're here. Thank you for joining me. This is a show that I do every Wednesday at noon Eastern. All right, here we go. So this is Space Opera Xanadax, Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy OGN, trade paperback volume 1. So implying that there will be more volumes. Written, drawn, lettered, and colored by Tom Scioli in the solo creator auteur tradition. Into the strange new universe of Space Opera Xanadax Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy. The supercharged, cybernetically enhanced, brooding loner known as Xanadax is on a collision course with this crazy, kill-crazy cosmic enemy number one, an armada of ruthless space pirates, slimy crime bosses, and deadly bounty hunters, an oppressive star-spanning empire, and an army of homicidal robots. Yeah, this is amazing. I cannot wait to pick this up and read it. It comes out the 20th, so next week. Definitely looking to pick that up for sure. Big Tom Scioli fan. Let's go to Tales of Paranoia. Share screen. I do have a video on my channel showing off the recent fantagraphics catalog. If one of the moderators wants to share that for me in the chat, that dropped. I think it was Monday night. Yeah, Monday night I got the tip that it was doing it, so I recorded it right away and released that Tuesday morning. The video Tuesday morning. One of the things I talked about though in that video was the Tales of Paranoia by Robert Crumb. The first R. Crumb comic in 23 years. And I think the distinction there, Harvey talked about that in my Discord, which I do have a Discord if you want to join the chat there. That information's down below in the description. But the distinction is it's the first single issue comic book that Robert Crumb has done wholesale all himself, every bit of it. Although even that's not true because there's a script written in here by Crumb, Aileen Crumb. But I don't know. Whatever. I don't get bogged down by these distinctions of the first comic book in 23 years. The important thing is we're getting new comic book material by R. Crumb, who's 81 years old. There's 12 short stories in the single issue comic book. I love the format. I love that he's going back to the format that he cherished and broke, cut his teeth on. Even the earliest days of Zap, that was a one-man anthology when it first started, before he started bringing in the whole gang and gaggle of other underground cartoonists in. So I love that he's in this format again. 36 pages, black and white, standard size comic book, $5.99, due out November 5th, a few days before my birthday. So that's exciting too, that we're going to get that. I love the cover treatment here. It's kind of done in like an Atlas Comics era homage. Well, really fun. And then another one I want to talk about, a new comic by Matt Kindt, who's one of my favorite comic book writers, and David Rubin. And David Rubin is a comic book artist that I really, really enjoy. It's going to be from Flux House Comic Books, or Flux House Books, which is the imprint, Matt Kindt's imprint through Dark Horse Comics. It's a one-of-a-kind science fiction odyssey and the brainchild of one of comics' most creative all-star teams. So Matt Kindt and David Rubin both worked on Ether together and both worked on Cosmic Detective together with Jeff Lemire. I have a video on my channel showing off Cosmic Detective, which was it was like Blade Runner meets Jack Kirby's Eternals. Like, it's such a fun series. And it was a jam comic where it was like Matt Kindt would write a page and then Jeff Lemire would write a page, and then Matt Kindt would write a page and Jeff Lemire would write a page. And then went back and forth like that. And then David Rubin had to do all the artwork for it. Really, really fun series. Check out my video on that if you want to see it. But this is called Space Scouts. Here's a couple of covers. So Matt Kindt, I love his writing. I love David Rubin's artwork. And this is going to be, what do they call it? Ender's Game meets Big Brother. In Big Brother, they mean the reality TV show. It's going to be in magazine-sized format. So it's going to be 8 inches by 10.875 inches, 32 pages per issue. With variant covers by Sergio Aragones, Brian Hurt, and Alvaro Martinez Bueno. Sergio Aragones doing a variant cover sounds awesome. I guess it's going to be about a reality TV show called Space Scouts, where you go and try to become the next Space Scout. And Matt Kindt in the press release here even says, it's a dream project that David and I had for a long time. I'm going to tell a story that centers around thousands of teenage superheroes recruited to save the universe. Gives us a chance to let our creativity run wild with different superpowers and aliens tied to a competition reality show. As a longtime fan of the crazy 1950s Superboy covers, this scratches that inspirational itch. And then he says, there hasn't been a visual artist as inventive and energetic as David since Jack Kirby. He channels that same bonkers energy without being derivative in the least. Well, this is a fun series, and I want to pick it up. And then, lastly, the next new comic I want to talk about is this one. This should create a fun conversation. So this is the Creator Collection, number 1, Back to the Savage Land, Barry Windsor-Smith at Marvel, number 1. I talked about this in my catalog video, which I saw James posted the link to. Thank you. They are collecting, Fantagraphics is collecting all of Barry Windsor-Smith's Marvel work in 3 volumes. Now, I don't know if that's going to collect the Conan stuff. It does say pre-Conan work on X-Men, Avengers, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Kazar will be in this volume. But I don't know if they'll have the rights to do the Conan stuff. I think they might just do only his Marvel IP character stuff, and that's fine. I'd love to have a Barry Windsor-Smith Conan collection restored by Fantagraphics. That'd be amazing. But if we can't, I love that we're having 3 volumes nonetheless, because this will eventually include his Machine Man series and his Weapon X series that he did with Marvel Comics Presents. And all these comics will be restored again, talk about coloring, restored in the way that Fantagraphics does it, with not the oversaturated, garish coloring jobs that Marvel usually does on their collections. This will be more faithful to the original coloring. I don't know who's working on this project as far as the restoration goes. I'll try to find that out. And I don't know if the book design, I don't know if it's Ian Chalgren will be designing the books. I need to reach out to him and find out. But 352 pages. But it's going to include his individual stories for Chamber of Darkness, Tower of Shadows, which was collected in the first Lost Marvels volume, Avengers, Iron Man, Doctor Strange issues, and his Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. issues with Kazar. And then it says future volumes will trace Windsor-Smith's career through such milestones as Machine Man and Weapon X. It is mind-blowing to me that we are now, I've been saying this for as long as Marvel's been on this project, as far as doing the Atlas restoration and then the Lost Marvels, and how it opened certain doors for certain other projects in the future. But I always said that they're basically, it seems like they're going to be able to do anything that wasn't the Marvel IP characters. Like the Atlas era stuff's pre-superhero era. The Lost Marvel stuff seems to be collecting a lot of non-Marvel characters, even though the Howard Chaykin volume, which I just did a review on this past Monday, does include Dum Dum Dugan in some of the Dominic Fortune stories. But this is a whole new ball game. Fantagraphics is now reprinting Marvel IP. We have Taschen, we have Folio Society, and now Fantagraphics publishing this stuff. The door is open for any possibility at this point. So what I want to ask you guys is what creators would you like to see in a line like this? Like Barry Windsor-Smith's 3-volume set collecting all of his stuff from Marvel. What other creators would you like to see included? One that I've seen that was interesting that people have cited, it was Jim Steranko. So one thing I wanted to talk about was the possibility of a Jim Steranko collection. So I'm going to go to his Wikipedia here and go through his bibliography of Marvel work and what this could include. Because I would love a Jim Steranko collection done in the style of this Fantagraphics restoration. So for Marvel, not a lot, but we have Captain America 110, 111, and 113, plus the covers. That's like the trilogy of Steranko, where he kind of retcons Captain America and how like the public knew his identity. He retcons that for going forward for Gene Colan to take over. And that is collected in the first volume of the Omnibus for Captain America, which again I have a video on. And it's an amazing trilogy of issues by Steranko. And then he did Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He did 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Strange Tales, he did a lot of issues there. Okay. So Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., he did 4 issues there. And then Strange Tales, he did 3. And then 14, 20, about 20 stories from Strange Tales, which were only like 10 to 12 page strips. And then Tower of Shadows #1, which was in that first Lost Marvels. Then he did X-Men issues 50 and 51, and then the Foom cover there. X-Men, he actually designed the X-Men logo that we all know and love, like back in issue number 50 or whenever that debuted. That logo might have debuted before that, but whenever that new logo debuts, Steranko designed that logo, and they've used it ever since, or a variation of that. So I think Steranko would be a really good nominee for this. I'm seeing some in the chat. Bill Sienkiewicz. Bill Sienkiewicz would be a great one as well. Let's look up his bibliography for Marvel. I know he's done a bajillion covers for Marvel. I think that would be a whole collection in itself if they did that. These are all DC. So we got Alias. We did Avengers. So a lot of this he was just the inker on too. So this would be kind of hard. Obviously, Electro Assassin and Daredevil Love and War in the issues of New Mutants, the issues of Moon Knight would be, this would be a great collection. I agree. Sienkiewicz would be a good one. Let's get Sienkiewicz into the collection as well. Wally Wood. Wally Wood didn't, I don't think he, I mean, maybe for one, I don't even know if you'd have enough for one volume. Because he jumped into Marvel, was touted and celebrated as coming into Marvel, and then he left quite rapidly. I know he designed the suit for Daredevil that we all know and love, the all red suit. So we have Astonishing Tales 1 through 4. Okay. He was the inker on that one. Cat number 1 on his inker. Daredevil 5 through 11. Okay, so that's like 9 issues. Journey into Mystery, got a couple issues there. Journey into Unknown Worlds, that's an inker job. See, I don't think they'd collect the ones where he's only the inker. Marvel Tales 152, Mystic 52, Strange Tale. Oh, he's the inker on that one. Yeah, you could probably you could probably do a volume of Wally Wood. I could see that. Walter Simonson would be really hard, Josh. Mike Mignola would be a good one. Okay, let's go look at Mike Mignola's Marvel output, because he doesn't have a ton, but what he does have could fill out a volume. Let's see. He did a lot of great covers for the X-Men Classic series. He has that great issue of X-Force, which when you collect that, do you collect the pages that Rob Liefeld still did? Oh, man. It's funny to me who does Wikipedia pages, because this one's not separated by publisher. But anyways, we have Rocket Raccoon. Okay. Amazing High Adventure. That's First Comics. That's DC. Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, of course, the Triumph and Torment would be great to put in there. Wolverine, The Jungle Adventure, of course, put that in there. And then all these covers. Yeah, Mike Mignola might get a nice slim volume. Are there anybody else? Let me know, though. Let me know. Let's keep that chat going. Those are some comic book projects that I want to talk about. Those 3 that I'm excited for. I'm excited for the BWS as I've been for anything in years. I know in these art-centric books, I feel like there's like a lot of Marvel fans, like the omnibuses are like Art Adams. Art Adams would be a great one. Holy crap. Arthur Adams would be an awesome creator collection. But anyways, these omnibuses that are like Art Adams, like a lot of these fans like that I see on like Near My Condition and things, I hate those collections. They're like, why would you want to read that? It's so like out of whack. You don't get a complete story. Like, but I am always like more art centric than story centric with comics. I love a good story, don't get me wrong, but I'm more drawn to like really cool looking art than I am drawn to a writer in their story. If one of my favorite writers is writing a story with boring art, it kind of turns me off. But so I love these collections where you can see an artist's artwork and their style progress throughout the years. Like Barry Windsor-Smith, that first volume is when he was still doing like his Kirby influence kind of style, and then we're gonna see his artwork evolve into like this amazing, like mind-blowing Weapon X stuff. I can't wait for it. So I love seeing that kind of stuff. Wonder if they view this as creator over IP, if that makes sense. Well, probably, but Marvel still sees it as that we're letting someone else publish our IP, which is amazing. Walter Simonson, I saw that would be, I think that'd be too long. I think that'd be like 10 volumes. It would be great though. And you'd get more faithful coloring in the Thor series. How about that? Wally Wood, Bill Sienkiewicz, Richard Corbin. I doubt Dark Horse will be able to with their library set, so it would be perfect. Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah, because he had that Luke Cage series. He did Bernie Wrightson would be another good one. He did a couple graphic novels that have never been reprinted, like Hooky, the Spider-Man graphic novel is really good. Bernie Wrightson and Richard Corbin would both be really good ones. Interesting. Lost Marvels of Frank Bruner. Yeah, that's another good one. Frank Bruner had great issues of Doctor Strange. Howard the Duck, obviously, would be cool, which might already be collected in Tower Shadows. Yeah, so some of his other work would be cool too. There should be a complete collection of Corbin's. You know, it'd be even cooler too is if they did the Corbin Marvel collection and styled the book to look like it falls in line with the Dark Horse collections. I'd be a sucker for that. I mean, I'd buy it regardless of what it looked like, but that'd be cool. Mignola did a lot of Marvel Presents. There's a Namor one I want. I'm hoping that one day they do a Marvel Comics Presents omnibus line. I'll be all over. There's so many cool artists that went through that line. Marie Severin would be a fun one. Yeah, Marie Severin, mostly known as a colorist, but she did a lot of great work as an artist too. On Namor, even like Muppet Babies, her artwork looked great in that. Corbin, Marvel said could finally collect that random charity comic that he has paired with more. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go through my plugs, put any last minute comments, questions, concerns, and whatever in the chat. After I get done with my plugs, I will go through the last bits of the chat and then we'll get out of here. But yes, thank you for joining me. Next Wednesday, I'll be back on the normal showtime, normal day, Wednesday at noon Eastern. We go live every week to go over the latest comic book news and chat with you guys. Always love doing the show. I appreciate you guys joining me. Look for my videos throughout the week when I go over things, go over new acquisitions, new pickups, new comic books that I want to show off. But please subscribe. Comment down below if you're watching. If you're not watching this live, comment down below with any of your thoughts about the video. I always reply to those comments. Give the video a thumbs up and check out my TikTok as well. I always do. I've been trying to do that daily, and check out all my stuff on other platforms. I appreciate that so much. Discord, you can follow us on there. You can join in the chat of comics on there throughout the week. Near Zero, thanks Taylor. Always a fun show. Thank you for joining me, Near Zero. Been a pleasure, folks. Thanks Taylor. There's my TikTok. Subscribe there for daily content, shorter form videos. Thank you guys, everyone, and keep talking comics.